Hi my love, hi my darlings, I'm Nicole. Welcome to this video. As you saw perhaps by the title, the video is titled Get to Know Me Part 2. Yes, today I'm gonna talk about my painful life story. I never intend to talk about it, but since there is an important event that is coming up, I just wanted to give you an idea, of what I went through. I will tell you at the end of the video why I shot this video as well. So yeah, so it's Get to Know Me Part 2. It's about my life story, yes. More specifically, it's about the fact that or how I studied for 10 years. All right. Yes, so where are we starting? I got in South Africa, and yeah, I started with CBUT in 2013. Yes, if you want to know who I am, where I'm coming from, or whatever, you're welcome to check Get to Know Part 1. There's quite a number of details about me as well, or information as well, but I will start from 2013. I hope I don't get emotional because this is such a personal topic. I never ever wanted to shoot about it, and I wish that today will be the first and the last time I talk about these things, because I have written them down already, and I think I have shared enough information on the books. And yes, I just hope today is the first and the last time I am talking about this for now, okay, because it brings emotions. I hope I don't get emotional. I don't cry or anything like that. I hope I do. Anyway, let's get to it. So I started study from 2013 up until I finished in 2023. So basically I studied for 10 years. I just want to share to you how I studied for 10 years, right? What happened? And yes, hoping that this will motivate you, it will inspire you, it will encourage you. And that's the goal of this video, to inspire you, to motivate you, to encourage you, especially students watching me. Whether you're in high school, college, university, this is meant to inspire you. It has to. So in 2013, I will tell you what each year was marked for or with in my life. Okay, in 2013 was the year that I got accepted at CPUT for a program called Medical Lab Science. Yes, so I started with medical lab science in that year. I started in February because we usually register at the beginning of the year. So it was marked also by the challenge that I had to face. So I was coming from the French-speaking country. Also the French educational system. So now I had to do not just studies, but medical studies, medical related subject or medical course in English. It was very challenging. I remember my early days or months or weeks at school, I would literally sometimes write down the list of things that I don't know how to spell them, write them, or what they are in English, and have to translate them in English, yes, so I can understand even the subject. So 2013 was marked by the language barrier, like the challenge that I had, to do medical subject or medical course in English. But that didn't stop me. So that didn't stop me at all. So if you are someone who is finding yourself in a different country where you have to learn or study in a different language, maybe in your second or third language, I don't think you should give up. If you're struggling, you really know that people struggle before you, even after you, they will. So that's not a reason to give up. So my advice to you will be actually to consider Google Translate. You just pick the language that you know and the language that you're learning, and then you put the word or the sentence that will give you the translation. And you can also click on audio to get the right spelling of whatever sentence or a word that you are learning. So Google Translate, dictionaries, books, audiobooks, podcasts that will open your hearing ability, that will loosen your tongue as well as increase your understanding of the language that you are learning or the language that you are doing sciences or studying with. So it is possible to study in your second language, because I did a medical related course or subject in my third language. So that's why how 2013 was marked. 2014 was marked by me, second year students. I was second year students, but I started being depressed in 2013. You know, the change, the pressure, and also where I was staying. I had quite a lot of challenges that I was facing in the house where I was staying, so it brought quite a lot of depression. Depression really started me in 2013, you know, where in the house where I was living, there's a lot of tensions and negativity. So that was really bad, you know, in my mental health as a person. So 2014, I'll be depressed on and off. And the language challenge was getting a little bit lighter or better, but I kept on going to school, I kept on practicing, I kept on reading. I was staying, back then I was staying in southern suburb, and the CPT Belleville campus is in northern suburb. So I had to travel about 2 hours to get to campus and 2 hours to return home. So it was quite a huge sacrifice, about 4 hours traveling every single day. But yeah, the distance didn't stop me, the language didn't stop me, I had to continue. 2015 was the year that was marked by me getting enough from where I was living, you know. The pain that I was going through, the cries, the hurt, you know, I couldn't anymore. Then I spoke to a friend of mine, you know, and then she invited me to go live somewhere. So yeah, that's how 2015 was marked. Yeah, 2016, then at the end of 2015 I moved from where I was staying in Claremont, and I moved to Para, northern suburb. That was the beginning of a journey. 2016, the good side of 2016 was actually the release of my second book. The Appreciation was released in 2016. But my first book was released in 2014, so that was a good thing that happened to me in 2014. Yeah. 2016, I struggled a lot. I suffered a lot. Remember, I moved to a new place on my own. I'm a student, second year student. I have a few subjects here and there. I didn't have a job, I didn't have a scholarship, I didn't have a source of income, I didn't have anyone who was supporting me financially. Because back then I was also serving God, you know. Most of guys will want to date you. When they're dating you, they're expecting like to have sex with you or sleep with you or anything like that. Back then I was you know, I was fearing God, you know, God-fearing person. I wanted to be a woman of integrity, you know. I wanted to, more importantly, you know, I wanted to preserve my virginity, you know. My virginity was everything for me. I fought so hard for it, and I just didn't see a reason why to give it up, you know. But I had a friend that was actually close to me, but he wouldn't help me, he wouldn't pay my rent, he wouldn't support me unless I had sex with him. And I didn't want to have sex with him. Like, I told you, my faith and also my virginity, and I also just didn't want to. So I remember one day the problem started eventually where I was living, you know. They were threatening me by the landlord, as well as other because what I was saying was a property that belonged to a church. So there's a pastor for that church and a committee that is like leadership, like in leadership in that church. So that committee and the pastor will threaten me, you know. It was very horrible, but I'm trying to spare it from detail. So they will come to my house, to the room, to kick me out, you know, threat, they write letter. It was horrible, really horrible. And I would go out to drop CVs, you know. I wanted to do a job like a waitress. I would go drop CV, but they wouldn't even call me for an interview. I would go search for work, I wouldn't even find. I apply online, I apply offline. No doors was opening to me. It was really, really horrible. I remember one day I went to Cape Town campus to just do my assignment and stuff, and also look for baby share for my second book and stuff. My friend, the male friend that I had, he picked me up. when he picked me up, I was with him. Then I got a email from the landlord. The landlord was telling me, like, if you don't pay tonight, you find your stuff outside of the room. All the threats, you know, that I was receiving every day that were taking away my peace as a student and everything. Yeah. So he told me, he was like, there's a hotel close to Cape Town CPUT Cape Town campus, if you would like to go, and then I'll pay all your bills. I just looked at him and then I said no. My body wasn't worth 2k, 2,000 rand. It wouldn't be. Temptation was worse. It was very horrible. Yeah, but despite of that, you know, I kept on studying, I kept on reading, I kept on pushing, you know. It wasn't the only one. There will be offers left and right, you know. It was like a transaction offer. You put your body on the line, we give you money. Without it, you get anything. That's why, ladies, who you sleeping with men for free, you mustn't. Because the men, most of men, they wouldn't really give you something like the help, the support that you want, you need, or deserve, unless they get something out of it. So you have to be very smart who you're giving your body to, because they don't give the money unless they know they're getting something out of it. This is how they're wired. However, in every role there's exception. You also meet men, you know, that can only help you, support you, and show you love without expecting you to give to them their body. But you have to be very careful, because most of them are wired like that. When they spend, they have to get something in return. They don't know how to spend and not get anything in return. They don't know that. It's unfortunate, but this is it. So 2016, I suffered a lot, you know, sometimes. But I was very close to God, you know. We had this bond, this intimacy, and stuff like that. Sometimes God would. So I was saying, God would tell me, when you return home, Nicole, do not go by the left door, because the cancer will be there, the pastor will be there to kick you out, to put you under pressure and stuff. But I also said to myself, if God really cared, why didn't he just give me money to pay? Why did I have to go through those humiliation? It was very horrible. I remember there was even a Sunday when the cancer came to physically attack me in my room. One of the female punched me in the face. I had to call the police, you know, to have my side. I had to go to rental house tribunal to have my side. When they find out, you know, they even hated me more. But it was a painful year, you know. Being threatened, being kicked out, being evicted each and every time. Sometimes there were not foods to eat. Sometimes they just, I didn't have money. So I went to school because the CPUT has two residences, Sheriff and Toplin in Pero area. So as I didn't have transport, I would just walk from my place to the shuttle point. So as a student from Sheriff and Toplin will get to the shuttle, I will also get to the shuttle. And then this is how I used to travel to campus. You will go to campus after class, you go to the library, you read, and then you return home. There was a friend who I was working for, he was paying me 200 rand. So that 200 rand was like a salary I was getting weekly. So that 200 rand would be enough for me to buy food that time. I would go to one of the cheap markets to just get food. It was horrible, believe me. The problem is also being international students. There's no scholarship for international students. There's no scholarship for non-South African. If you look at scholarship that comes through CPUT doors or through South African university, the first condition they always say South African students. So the fact that they only acknowledge citizens, it means that they also acknowledge that any person who's not South African is immediately automatically excluded for any opportunity of receiving support or scholarship. That's why when you see international students or refugee students or asylum seeker students, they don't have any support, because all scholarship that comes, it's always about South African, you know. And it's very sad. So there was no way I could have applied for a scholarship because of me not being a South African citizen. So obviously there was no scholarship for me. Only that's how it has been, or it is all this time. So that was very, very sad. So yeah, I will go online, check for a scholarship, I will check, but I disqualified for it, and it was horrible. That's how I spent my 2016. Then comes 2017. I suffered so much in 2016. I told you, financially and stuff like that. It was tough. There were times that, like I told you, I wouldn't even have money for groceries or anything. Yeah, but I was close to God. I was very intimate. Anyway, I just don't want to get to that. Then comes 2017, when the council decided to take the house, because it was a big house, a 5-bedroom house, where I was renting a room that was unable to pay normally because I'm not having a source of income. Comes 2017, we were supposed to leave because the council handed the house to agency to rent it out. So there was no place for me to sleep, like to live in that house. So what happened is I had to apply for res. I did apply for res all this time, by the way, but CPUT doesn't have res to accommodate everyone. Every single academic year, it's always a struggle to find a place. But that 2017 was a year where if I don't get a place in res, I will be in the street like I had to. Something good happened though. The SRC leader of that year was a guy called Romaric. If Romaric is watching this, shout outs to you, man. You did a wonderful job. Romaric, the guy, the SRC chairman of that time, is from Cameroon, you see. So he understands the pain of international students. He understands the pain of non-South African students, you know, having to leave your home country, coming to study here, and there's no accommodation like rest to accommodate you. It's very tough. Then someone who is born here, who can be accommodated by people they know, by their family, you see, it's a big difference. We went to see him and explain the situation. We're coming from a different country. We don't have a place to go. The house has been handed to NGC. We can't stay there anymore. Like, it really went above and beyond. Above and beyond. Finally, it got us room, me and my friend. I was able to move to Anglo-American Rise, what was one of the good Rise. I had my own room. 17 was quite good, you know, it was really good. When I moved to Rise, 2 months later, I met my first boyfriend. I'm gonna shock you. My whole life, I've only had one boyfriend. Can you believe that? I met my first boyfriend, so that was the second good thing that happened to me in 2017. And yeah, so I was in res. Yes, I was already a 3rd-year student. I tried my best to actually pass all my subjects so I could go for in-service training in July. Unfortunately, I failed micro. I think with maybe 1 or 2 other subjects. I failed like 1 or 2 subjects, and I wasn't able to go to in-service training, so it's very sad. So in 2018, I had to take some of those subjects, but from 17, I already did beauty courses. You know, I started working, you know, at the beauty salon and stuff like that. I tried again in 2018 to finish my subject, to go for in-service training. I just couldn't. I felt, I think, like 1 subject. I felt micro, I think. For the first time, I think, I felt micro in 2018, something like that. So I couldn't go for in-service training. I had to stay behind. It was very painful. I needed that in-service training so I can make at least money because my financial situation anyway. Then comes 2019. That's when the major problem started. In 2019, I had a full-time job. I was working at the spa somewhere as a beauty therapist because yes, I also do beauty stuff like massages, nails, hair, lash extension, waxing, shaving and stuff like that. I also trained, but back then I was only training massage and doing pedicure, manicure and massages. You know, I did those acrylic and gel right after. Anyway, so I will go to the spa and work, and then I will go to class. So with me having a full-time job, I couldn't attend all the practical with micro 3. So, and that was very difficult. So at the department where I was studying, it happened that we had a new HOD. When the new HOD came to power, the HOD trying to enforce certain laws such as but it was one of the rules that I heard about. If you don't attend like 100% of your subject, 100% of your practicals, you're not going to be able to write your exam. So that was one of the rules that I just heard. When did I heard that? When I got an email informing me that I wasn't supposed to, or I shouldn't be writing exam. So I inquired, like, why should I not write exam? They said you didn't attend your practicals. I said practical only account for 10% toward the overall mark, which is 100. How come something that counts only for 10% will suppress FISA? FISA is the final assessment, you know, that accounts for 50% toward the 100%, you know, pass. The 100% for the subject. I wasn't okay with that. Then I spoke to the lecturer. She was like, no, you can speak to the HOD. I went to see the HOD and I explained, no, I have to take this exam because micro 3 was the only subject that was outstanding, you know, that was stopping me from going for in-service training in July and stuff like that. The HOD was like, no, you're not gonna write, you should go home and come next year and write next year. I just thought that was really, I was like, so then I said, so like I said, the HOD said, oh, you have a poor attendance for your practical, you should go home, you should just come next year and register for the subject and take it again, attend the practicals and then write the exam. I was like, no. So I wanted to understand what I did, you know, for my, I wanted to salvage, you know, that academic year, because also I was on CPUT debit order. And then that subject back then was like 3.5 or almost 3.7 or something. It was expensive, and I already have all other bills. And I'm paying for my own studies. I'm working like full-time at the spa, so I can pay for my studies, pay for my rent, all my other bills that I had. I couldn't agree to not write the exam because of poor attendance for practical. The only accounts 10%. I couldn't. Then I asked the HOD, is there somewhere I can go to get help? Is there anyone can assist me? She said only the dean can overtake her decision. So if I go to the dean, and the dean will assist me. Also, I think I was just naive, or maybe I was just worried or I don't know, but that wasn't a good move from my side based on the consequences, you know, that came after that. And then I went to the dean. The dean wasn't even there. We had an acting dean at that time in the faculty. I went to the reception. I said, oh, can I speak to the dean? I said, oh, the dean is not here. I think she was in Johannesburg. The acting dean was in Johannesburg. I said, but you can email her, explain to her your situation. I emailed her. I said, hi, my name is Nicole. I'm a third-year student. I have one subject left, which is micro 3. For me to go for in-service training, could you perhaps allow me to write the exam so that I can pass the paper and then go for in-service training? The dean also did some research. I think she got access to my academic record, wanted to know who I am, whatever, and then emailed the HOD saying, could you please allow the student Nicole to take an exam, a FISA exam and stuff. And then I think after that I also heard other students were allowed to write the exam with poor tendency toward the practical of the subject that only accounts 10% for the overall. Anyway, so that passed the exam. When I received that result, I took I don't know if I did resign. I think I resigned from the salon because I asked them if they could give me 1 week or 2 weeks leave so I can be home, so I can prepare for the micro exam, because I really wanted to pass micro. We were in May, so I can go for in-service training in July. They didn't want to give me leave, so then I submit my resignation later, so I resigned from the salon. I was home for I think 3 to 4 weeks. I wasn't working, so all I was doing was just reading. I read micro, I went through the PowerPoint slide, the book that I had, I went through the question paper, past papers and stuff. I prepared myself, I go to write the exam. The exam really went well. But yeah, it really went well. So after the exam I went home, you know, I was at peace, but it was also sad of me thinking the fact that I went to the HOD, if there would be any repercussion and stuff like that. But I was at peace knowing that my exam went well. Then comes the lovelies. So at the department we have what we call a second chance. It's like the reevaluation, we call it. If you fail the subject, but the overall you get like 45% and above, you qualify for a reassessment. Okay, so if you fail and qualify for the reassessment, your name will be on the reevaluation list. But if you fail pretty bad, maybe like 20% only, you're not gonna qualify for reassessment. And if you pass, your name obviously will not be on the re-evaluation list because you passed the subject, and the pass rate is or was 50%. So I went to see the reward list. I didn't see my name. So see, if your name is not on that list, it means you have passed, unless you got 20 or 30, which disqualify you for the reassessment. Then I went to ask the lecturer, like I wanted to confirm. I went to the lecturer. I was like, oh, I haven't seen my name on the reward list. Did I pass? Like, is it done? I went to see the lecturer because I knew that I did contact the dean to ask the dean if I could take my exam, because I didn't know now if, you know, I was being punished for going to the dean. I wasn't sure about the consequence of what I did, you know, contacting the dean to ask, you know, if I could take the exam when the HR didn't want me to. That fear in me, you know, I was fearing on what could be the consequence of contacting the dean. Then I went to ask the lecturer to just confirm to me. The lecturer wouldn't give me an answer. I begged her for minutes. No, she didn't tell me anything. I left the department, I returned home. And then we had to wait. I had to wait for CPT result. I think July or June, something like that, CPT published the result. I saw that I failed micro with 40, I don't know, 40 something. But it wasn't below 45, which means I could have still qualified for reassessment if they had wanted me to take that exam that year. Let's say I saw the reward list in June 13, and in June 15 I got exclusion letter. I received exclusion letter. Nicole, you have been excluded from the program because you only have one subject and then you failed it. It was the first exclusion letter that I got from the university, or from the department. I didn't know how to process it. It was my first exclusion. Obviously I thought my life was over. I thought it was done. So I started crying, you know. I started crying and it was horrible. I was dead. It was done for me. It was over. That's what I thought. That's what I knew. I remember that time I moved to my first apartment in Boston. I had quite a nice life because my boyfriend did put me an allowance, you know. And there was a specific amount of money, off topic, there was a specific amount of money he was giving me every single month, you know, for my maintenance and my bills. I think we started about 9,000 rand, almost 10k per month. And then there was this time when I was owing CPT 100,000 rand because of the 2 years that I stay on campus. It was over 50,000 plus all the subjects that cost a lot of money. And then he gave me 15k to pay, and then I took 10,000 rand from my account, my saving account, because I always save. So I paid CPT 25,000 rand. So he was telling me, he was like, okay, did you pay the 15k that I sent you? And I said, yes, no, but I paid 25k. He said, no, I only dropped 15k into your account. I said, no, I paid 25 because I added 10k on top of your 15k. That time when he heard, he thought I don't have money. He thought that I had money. He brought my allowance down to 6.5. I'm an allowance girlfriend. What was I going to do? I never asked him up until today, up until the end of my relationship, why he brought my allowance. But obviously I was unhappy. I don't like my allowance to drop. He dropped it to 6.5 per month because he saw that I paid CPT extra 10k, so he was thinking maybe this girl has money. No, I don't have money. I never had money. No, for real, I don't have money. I swear. Even if you don't believe me, it's fine, but I don't have money, I swear. Anyway, that was off topic. Let's get back to topic. So in 2019 it was okay because he was there. You see, my partner was there. He was supporting me. I moved to my first apartment. It was looking all beautiful, like a hotel. I was working full-time at the spa and stuff like that. So I was crying that day when I received my first exclusion letter. I called my friend Dorel. Shout out to you if you're watching this. Thank you so much, man. I was crying with him in the house. I was like, it's over. All these years of studying, of all the sacrifice that I made to be just a third-year student. Now they will exclude me, a third-year student with one outstanding subject, which is Micro 3. It was over. He said, no, you have to fight for your studies. You have to fight. Yeah. I was like, okay. You have to appeal. I start the appeal. I appeal by the department, it was rejected. They rejected my appeal. I appealed by the faculty, it was rejected. That was my last hope. I was hoping, you know, that the dean will see through this, you know, but it was rejected. And then I went to SRC, you know. I explained. SRC didn't even receive me. I don't know what was going on with SRC. Maybe they had election. So they gave me another guy from PASMA. I don't know if you guys know this student organization. They gave me a guy from PASMA. PASMA said, that guy said, no, we have to go to the vice chancellor. You are a third-year student. You only have one surgery. They cannot exclude you. You know those motivation you get from student organization. It doesn't make sense. You have to go. We went to the vice chancellor. I wrote a letter. I submitted to the vice chancellor. Then we start waiting for answer. No answer. January, February, March, April. The registration closed already at CPUT, like 4 more 1 closes. Now they were doing late registration. I didn't even know where my status. Sometimes I would phone the vice chancellor's office to check on my application. Still pending, still pending. There was this secretary, I don't know what, I think her name is Liz, or I don't remember exact name. Let's just assume her name is Liz. Then I found Liz. I'm like, did you spoke to the vice chancellor? I'm Nicole. I submitted my appeal because I've been excluded for failing micro. I think I failed micro 2 times, Days like that. So I failed micro not once, but I failed it twice. So yeah, I think that's what happened. So then yes, then you know, yeah. So I will phone the vice chancellor's office. There was always a silence. And eventually at the end, when we reached April, because I was scared that CPUT may close the late registration, I may lose another academic year instead of going writing micro and going for in-service training like I wanted to. And then the vice chancellor Liz will pick the phone one day, will tell me, oh no, Nicole, I think at this point the your appeal will pen. The vice chancellor will not attend to it. But long story short, it was a no even from a vice chancellor's office. I got the message, email, I think. Yes, I got an email where the vice chancellor signed on my appeal, you know, the response from my appeal letter to approving my exclusion, me, a third-year student with 1 subject outstanding, for me to go for in-service training. My stomach dropped. I was literally at the spa. Luckily, I got that email in the afternoon, so most of clients were gone. I was just hanging around doing the admin and reception, because I was kind of managing that spa. Admin, reception, and also massaging, pedicure, and doing also treatment to clients. Most of clients were gone, and my other colleagues was almost like outside of the spa, like out of the spa. So I went to the bathroom. I am germophobic. I see bacteria, pathogens everywhere. But that day I knelt in the bathroom. It's just to show I wasn't myself. I knelt in the bathroom. I touched that bathroom seat, the toilet seat. My stomach dropped. I wanted to throw up and have diarrhea at the same time. It was horrible. I screamed that day. I literally screamed. I don't know if anyone could hear me. I screamed. But before I could scream, I turned up the music at the spa so up that nobody could hear me. And then I screamed so loud. It was horrible. Then I entered another stage of depression. I wanted to die. I didn't want to live anymore. Like you pray when you go to bed, God to wake you up. I would pray so God can take my life, because I didn't want to live. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to be alive. I just didn't want to be alive. I wanted to die so bad. I wanted to die so much, you know. It was horrible. I just wanted to die. Like there were even a day I would write like a letter, my last letter, and then I asked God, I'm like, please, I don't want to wake up the following day. But I would just wake up. I think the problem was killing me is knowing the truth. I knew like if I had committed suicide, you know, that I would go to hell. I wouldn't make it to heaven, because it's a sin to take away your own life. Knowing that killed me. If I had not known that it is sin to take your own life, I was gonna take it a long time ago. It has been so many years ago since I last wanted to be alive. I was gonna take it since 2013 when depression started, because it started in 2013, where I was uncomfortable and unhappy with the fight, you know, all those things that was going on where I was staying. That's when depression started. That's even when I started wanting to die. It was in 2013. I remember one night I returned from CPUT. I just wrote a letter, you know, like people write suicide letter. I wrote a letter like it was my last letter, and then I asked God to take my breath when I sleep because I didn't want to wake up. And then I remember at night he came. I don't know, he came, but he held me on my left hand. We went to the, how do you call it, the shade of hate, where when people die, where they go to rest, in that resting place. We went to that resting place. It's like a big venue. They have like cubicles. Everyone who dies and they had lived a peaceful life or is saved will be in that cubicle. But we walk throughout that entire space. There was no cubicle for me. And God told me at the end, look, you see, you are still on earth because there's no place for you. So you asking me to take your breath or kill you, I don't have space for you, Nicole. You have to stay on earth. Then I woke up. Even though I woke up, knowing that I'm here on earth because my time hasn't not come, I still didn't give up. I still wanted to die because my life, you know, felt so painful, so hurtful. Like that's why I spent years writing all those books, because most of those books has been just therapy. Because I just felt like my life wasn't worth living, in the sense like I just wasn't seeing, like I wasn't seeing like what was I doing here in the first place. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to shut down forever. But whenever I would also want to die, I would just think about the books, that the books are not ready yet, the books are not out yet. Then I will have a little bit of hesitation. Anyway, let's get back to CPUT. So that happened. I was depressed, you know, when I got the exclusion news from the Vice Chancellor's office that the Vice Chancellor approved of my exclusion. A third-year student with one subject before in service training, I was dead. I just thought it was over. Imagine if the HOD said no, the Dean said no, the Vice Chancellor said no. Who's gonna say no to you? Who's gonna say yes to you? I just felt it was over. But in me, I had a little bit of hope. Guys, you should have faith. There's a lot of names, you know, that I can call myself, but there's one name that I always call myself, is a woman of faith. Yo, guys, faith is definitely a demonstration of things that people are not seeing. There's a little of tiny of faith that was left in me that I will hold this degree one day. Excluded, even the Vice Chancellor's office approved of my exclusion, it was over. It comes to 2020 when we were hit by the pandemic. So I moved from whatever apartment to a 2-bedroom flat in Belleville. So I did set up my bedroom. I was setting up the spare bedroom. I didn't know exactly at the beginning what I would do with it. If I would transform it to a beauty room, if I would rent it out, if what. So one day I was just setting up that room. Then I received a call from a lady from Dorcas. If she's watching this, shout out to you, darling. Well done. She phoned me because I was buying a hair extension from her. I like quality hair extension that were coming from Angola. I also buy jewelry and stuff. So she phoned me. I thought she was talking to me about business, like she has new stock and stuff. But she was talking to me about my studies. She was like, how is your study? I'm like, oh, Dorcas, don't even mention. I got excluded, whatever. She was like, no, you have to appeal. I said, I did. I appealed at the department, the faculty, even at the Vice Chancellor's office. It all turned out rejected. I don't know. I was maybe waiting for my brother to come and help me out, you know, something like that. He said, no, you have the right, now that you have served your sentence, like you have spent an entire academic year without studying, it is in your right to write an application, a new application letter, and submit, and CPUT has the right, what she said, she has the right to take you back because you're a third-year student. I was like, no ways. That school brought hope in my life. It brought life into my bones. Oh, guys, in that spare bedroom where I was setting up, I stopped everything. I went to check my acceptance letter from CPUT. I went to read all CPUT booklet. I wanted to find out the right that I have to apply again and return to school. Eventually, I got the application because it was COVID. It was 2020, so we couldn't physically go to admin and in Belleville campus and drop the application. So I had to fill the application online. I filled the application like I did on the first year. I submit all the supporting documents. I even submitted my HBCS registration as a student, just to show them like I've been here, I'm a third-year student, I'm not a stranger, you know. I submit everything, and then I'm gonna tell you, there was no response. I will contact the admin whenever they will hear my name, Nicole Mampuya. They will just go off and off. I immediately understood there was a power above admin, above people that I was contacting to get the progress on my application. It was always saying international student application pending whenever I would check the progress of my application on CPT website. Then I remember a friend of mine was telling me about organization of international students on CPT Belleville campus. I went to see them. Cedric, if you're watching this, shout out to you. Arden, if you're watching this, shout out to you. Well done, guys. You are my heroes. Anyway, I went to see Cedric. We talked about it. During the meeting, we were Cedric, Arden, and I even cried. Cedric was reminding me of me. He was like, you are a strong woman. You are very smart. Nicole, you don't give up. You are an achiever. You achieve. Why is the things of study killing you like this? The fact that you reminded me, it made me feel like, oh, there's someone who knows me. Even in my weakest moment, someone can remember that this one is a fighter, that this one doesn't give up, that this one, she keeps pushing. Even if I fell a million times, I will keep trying and trying until I succeed. He was reminding me, because I don't think I was remembering myself, who I was, or anything, because of the pain that I was going through. It was, depression was kicking. Suicide was kicking. I was very weak. I was just, it was horrible. It was very horrible, believe me when I say horrible. If you ever read the books about my life story, we have like 10 books now about my life story. You will understand. I try to explain what I was going through in detail in those books, but I'm going to spare you from those details in this video because I'm heading to 1 hour now. Anyway, so we had to contact, now we contacted Dean. We had to, I spent 3 days, I wasn't eating. I did fast, my chest on the soil. I was like, I can't eat, I can't drink, I have to fast. 3 days. My chest on the soil. I couldn't talk. I couldn't cry. I was just bleeding from my heart, from the wounds in my heart. I was bleeding. I was feeling like the blood that was coming out of my heart was in contact with the soil. And then I put my Bible and damn it. Sorry. 3 days of fasting and prayer. We contacted the dean's office, and then there was stories given to the dean, all the subject that I have to do in the service training, stuff like that. Long story short, there was a platform where we had academics, the HOD, the dean, everyone, and stuff like that. And at the end, the dean asked the HOD to address the issue. The HOD agreed that I could submit an appeal letter, so the faculty allowed me to appeal it. So they gave me that chance. I wrote an appeal letter, and then I submit to them. And then after the faculty meeting, I think if I remember everything correctly, I was approved and was taken back to the program. That was a miracle. I did my third, I was taken back to the program. I went to Tiger Becker Hospital. Yay! I did my 3rd year at Tiger Becker Hospital. That's what I was assigned for my 3rd year in service training. But then also the department sent you from different hospitals, so you can have the exposure and experience as well. I think mostly for exposure as well, because as a 3rd year, we call it work integrated learning, where you get two weeks in each and different lab or hospital. Yes, it's good for exposure. I went to Somerset Hospital, all these different places that I was assigned to, but mainly I was assigned to Tiger Becker Hospital. I did so well, by the way. I had these 2 subjects for that 3rd year. I got 72 for each, 72 for my clinical practice. I was 3 mark close to distinction. Don't worry, for me it was more important part. I got 72% for clinical practice, and I got 72% for lab management. I really did well that year. Then comes my 4th year. So I love genetic. I am a cytogeneticist. I love genetic. I love gene. I love what I have specialized on. So then comes my 4th year. I was assigned to. So I was saying, I went to a private lab for me to specialize on cytogenetics and stuff like that. Everything was going well in my service training, to the fact that there was even a fund that they give to 4th year students, SITA fund. So I think, let's say in the class we were 53. So when the fund was released, it was given to 52 students, except me, because they said they couldn't give me that stipend because I am not a South African. So it was 4.5 pay. It was 4.5 per month. So they gave that 4.5 to all students except me. I sent my application as well. It was denied because I'm not South African. And yeah, so I sent SITA emails, you know, asking them if they could also give me, you know, that fund, because I'm the only international student, and with type of the permits that I'm using, I'm really best here. I'm not going anywhere. They just didn't want to even bother to respond. So at the lab where I was doing my 4th year in service training, they heard about that injustice, how they could give all the South African students 4.5, they stipend, except me, you know, the only international student in that class. So that company decided that they would give me the 4.5 for SITA. So they were paying me my salary, the 4.5 that SITA didn't want to give me because I'm not a South African student. And the company agreed or decided to even back pay me, like, because that started in the middle of the year. So they decided even to pay me from when the stipend started, like from early 2022. There was time that I won't tell you my salary. Yeah, I was very shocked. They're not just giving you SITA money that SITA refused to give to you, discriminate me for. They are giving you even the pay, like the back pay of, and your own salary. It was very nice. So that will really motivate me, you know. I was working hard, I was really pushing, I was always there in the lab. Yes. Then comes October or something, I had a mini thesis that I was working on that was on recurrent miscarriages. I wanted to investigate genes or chromosomes of parents who are born with something that is causing them to miscarry. So with recurrent miscarriage, I was only looking at couples or people that have had one miscarriage. I was looking at people, individuals or couples who have more than one miscarriages. I wanted to see what's wrong in their chromosomes or what's wrong in their genes that is leading them to not only miscarry once, but to miscarry 2 or 3 times. It was quite an interesting topic that I used for research. And the highest patient that I had was a lady who miscarried 9 times. When I fall into her file, the patient file, I was very shocked. Like, 9 times, she miscarried 9 times. I was fascinated by my research. I loved it so much. Like, when I find cases like this, I will dig more and more and more. However, the workload was too much. I had a lot of work to do, and it was so overwhelming. I remember when I got close to submitting the thesis, first of all, my academic supervisor, she would ask for my project, but it wasn't ready. You see, I was running out of time. I was becoming late into the time to submit it because I had a lot of patients, a lot of cases to investigate when it comes to recurrent miscarriages, like anything wrong with their genes and stuff like that. So the day before submission, I contacted my academic supervisor. I asked her to have a look. She was nowhere to be found. The following day, the day of submission, she emailed me by saying, you know, it's all good, you can submit. I thought my project was fine and everything. I submit. Then later on, it came out to be, I think the coordinator told me to resubmit. It was a fail. Yes, that's the word. My project, my thesis came out as a fail, and they asked me to submit it. Oh, I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain that I responded back to the coordinator that I wasn't seeing anything substantial as to declare that project for being unsuccessful, because for me, the fact that I was investigating something and I was able to find it, like I was researching on something and then I find it, like I had the results, I had the discussion, everything. It did qualify, you know, for me it did qualify my paper for a pass. But according to them, like according to the academic rules, you know, they still have to abide by them according to the rules and marking rubric they assess, and so that my project was not successful. But according to me, I thought it was successful. So I respond back to the coordinator. And also in the lab where I was, people will ask, you were doing service with someone else, how that person didn't have results but passed, but how did Nicole feel when she had the result? You know, there was like a lot of things that also made me think and question about my paper and stuff. But the fact that I know I reached out to the coordinator with that complaint, so it looked like, you know, I did not estimate the ability to mark my paper. I understand why I did it, but knowing or looking at how that cost me, I wish I didn't do that. Like, honestly speaking, I wish I didn't do that. It did cost me a lot. I wish I had been quiet. I had been maybe I just had gone through my paper again and submitted it. That's what I wish I had done, you know. But I do understand why I did it. Like, I expressed my mind, you know. But yes, like I said, looking at the consequence, I just wish I had been quiet. I had been kept quiet, gone through it again and submitted. However, when the email got, obviously I had to sit with my workplace supervisor. We checked grammar, spelling. She gave the paper to her husband. We got the help from English born and native speakers, from everyone. That paper was, but still came out as negative. The same thing happened for cytogenetic. I had to take it again, and then I had to wait for CPT result that came out on the 9th of December. It was a fail for both my mini thesis as well as what I specialize on. Guys, I was dead. However, my contract with in-service training was ending in November, and I already had a job. Yes, there was a job for me. Yes, they were going to pay me 20K per month. Chill. There was a job at the same company that I applied for. So, you know, with a job you have to have a qualification. I was very stressed. I was seeing a career here and then a failure here. Depression kicked. I started losing weight. I was very depressed, very sad. I remember on the 13th of December I went to see the HOD because the result on the 9th of December 2022 from CPT website was 54, fell with sub minimum, 52, 53. Okay, like I was saying, where was I again? Sorry, my battery went flat. I had to charge it. So they gave me 44. 54 fell with sub minimum and 52 fell with sub minimum. 54 for the thesis, the mini thesis, 52 for cytogenetics. I was just like, I didn't know about the sub minimum thingy. It was my first time, and then so I went to see the HOD. She was like, oh, if I was you, I will apply for remarking. I went to the admin, I asked about remarking. They said pay 600 rand, 300 rand for each paper. I paid for remarking. So lecture had to go on recess. I came back, I think, on the 15th of June. I spent 3 months praying and fasting. That was probably the last time I prayed and fasted in my life. Yeah, I almost died. I couldn't sleep on my bed. I was seeing my career leaving me. I was seeing my studies leaving me. The problem is, after that, I think on the 15th of December, I got exclusion letter. Imagine, you were close to getting your degree, getting the job, the dream job, and now they're not giving you. You are not only getting the failure for both the research and the thing you're specializing on, but you are getting an exclusion letter. But the second exclusion letter from the department. It was horrible. Lectures come from recess. I follow up with the remarking. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. The same mark stays. So I even wonder if it went for remarking. It didn't change. I went to the SRC, explained my situation, explained my problem, where it's coming from, whatever. We went to the department, meeting with SRC, meeting. It didn't work. I went to see the dean. I asked the dean if she could look at my paper, remark it, and because I was so sure, you know, that I passed and everything. And the dean contacted the department, and yes. So bottom of the story, we had the last meeting with the dean, the HOD, in the faculty office, where it was decided that I should repeat both subjects. But before that, I did get another exclusion again from the faculty. Yeah, I was also excluded from the faculty level, because I got the exclusion twice, you know, except the one that I was academically excluded from in 2019. So I got 2 other exclusion later, again from the department, from the faculty. It was horrible. Now I'm telling you, but that time depression is hitting. I just want to die. It was just too much. It was too painful. I just did one thing. It was just death. I just wanted to sleep and never wake up, because that's like my favorite way of dying, you know. I like, if I have to die today, that I should just sleep and not wake up. That's like my best way. I don't want to suffer from a disease or car accident and I die. I feel like I don't like it. Like, if I have to die today, you ask me the method, I will say I want to sleep and not wake up, because I feel like dying painlessly, painless method is suitable. It's good. It's better than having to suffer, you know, in the hospital, treatment, chemo, whatever, and then you end up dying. Why so much pain when I'm living? You know, I'm leaving the earth. Anyway, I just wanted to die though. Long story short, I had to appeal. I wrote another appeal later. I did submit. I think it came positive after the meeting with the dean and the HOD and the faculty office. It was my last chance. My last. Anyway, so then yes, the appeal came out positive. So yeah, and then I was allowed to register. Then come the registration part. I went to financial. I went to international office. They removed the international block, because 3 blocks must be removed: international block, financial block, and then department or academic faculty block for you to register. So they removed the international block, and then I needed the financial block to be removed. I went to see the director. I queued for the entire week. I couldn't see the director. CPUT, they wanted 34,000 rand for me to register. So basically all the money that I made from my service training, you know, remember they will pay back, the back pay me. They pay me for SITA, that discriminate me. And then they pay me for my salary as an intern, like it's just a stipend, like appreciation, you know, for your learning and stuff. That money had to go because they wanted 34K. And for the remaining money, they wanted me to be on installment, 4.5 from CPT account. It's because when people criticize foreign national for looking for a job in South Africa, do you know how much we spend studying in South Africa? It is freaking expensive. I spend so much money at CPUT, so much money, that if you go for job hunting, sometimes you don't even get the employment. When it's time to spend money, it's not a problem, but when it's time to get a job so you can get your money back, or so you can pay CPUT for the debt, it's become you coming here, you're taking our job. My love, we spend so much money at CPUT, believe me. They wanted 34,000 and the remaining to be an installment. Going to see the director for an entire week, I was even unable to see, to the point where even late registration finished. Long story short, I was able to see the director. I made the payment, and then I was the financial block was removed, but after registration. I went to the department. They said you have to appeal. You have to appeal again, because the web R for you to register is, you don't have a web R for you to. I had to write a letter to the department. I was waiting. Yeah, that was 2023. That was last year. We were almost, I think we were in March already. I didn't still register. I've been in a hell. Only the devil wasn't there. There was only pain. Long story short, I appealed. They said we cannot only put the web R for you alone. We have to put it for other students as well. So we need the deans, the faculty. You know, the dean. The dean is the head of the faculty. We need her permission, so you can. You need her permission so you can get the web R, so you can register. I started waiting for the dean permission. Yo, that time I was working at the salon in Brackenfell. Like I would go to the salon, busy with clients, like we're doing pedicure, manicure, back to back. If I find a little bit of 1 minute, I will go asking like, financial, can you please inform my faculty that I was waiting for financial block to be removed? I will be following up with the faculty office. Did they didn't decide yet? When am I getting a web? Did she receive my appeal? It was so much. Long story short, I was given a web and I registered. Then I took mini thesis again. For this time, I didn't do it with other students. I was given hand to research units. That's why I did my second time. The second time, the mini thesis was on I did investigate SNP, those changes in the gene, because we think like whenever a person is diabetic that they eat bad. Not everyone. So some people are diabetic, and that diabetes is due to genetic, some changes in their genes. So that's what I investigated, all the genetic changes that can occur that can lead to someone to inherit diabetes and stuff like that. But diabetic, caused by genetic cause, something like that. SNP and stuff like that. So that's what I did this time around, which was last year, 2023. And then it came out positive. I passed the mini thesis, and then cytogenetic, I took it again, and then I was able to pass. On the 9th of December 2023, I got the results, that I passed both. I was in bed when I got the coordinators. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, I saw the message, and then I went on CPT website. I put my student number, my permit number, because they asked student number, ID number, and something you put, and the result came, and I passed both. I was in my apartment. I screamed of pain, of 10 years of pain and sacrifices. I screamed, but you couldn't hear my voice. The only thing I said from my lips was, it's over. Yes, after 10 years, that 10 years of torture was finally over. So, let's not talk about you. When I posted that in the family WhatsApp group, I didn't even know about faith. My brother, my young brother, my baby brother, he reminded me again of me. He said something that he mentioned about faith. He said, you had faith during these 10 years that you were going to touch this degree one day. I didn't even realize that I had faith until he mentioned about it. I'm like, oh, he's reminding me of me. Yes, so I saw that degree, but people wasn't seeing it, because I'll meet people will ask me, hey, are you still studying? People are shocked. They thought I dropped off a long time ago. There are even some people who made comments, they made comments in my face like, if I was you, I was gonna drop a long time ago. Some even asked me personally, how do you continue study after all these years, like 10 years, you're still studying? Some made fun of me. They will meet me on campus to be like, oh Nicole, so you're doing your master now? I'm like, master? I haven't even got my bachelor degree yet. I'll be doing master. There was a guy who was like, oh, I'm sure you're done with your master, now you're doing your PhD because you've been around for so long. People will make fun. Whenever they would do that, I always laugh, because guys, you can't be mad, eh? You cannot be mad, because you'll be mad at everyone if you have to. I would just laugh, but they will make fun of me like, if I was you, I would drop off. If I was you, I would quit. How are you still studying? Oh, I thought you dropped off a long time ago. Are you still studying? Oh, when are you finished? And then you get all those people who are bold, they phone you like, Nico, when are you finishing school? And other people calling you a master student, a PhD student. You're just like, I can't even get this degree, and now I'm a PhD student. They just want to tell you, you've been on campus for so long, like, when will you finish and get out of this campus? It was horrible. So that's me, I want to motivate you. So what's your excuse? I don't like people who start and stop and start and stop. If you are a student, high school, university, college, watching me, guys, how many exclusion? Did you count how many exclusion I got? If you haven't counted, you can always play this video and count. Guys, despite of those academic exclusion, you know, I kept on hoping. I kept on seeing a degree that no one was seeing. I kept on believing on something that no one could see, could believe in, could even hope for. I think you can do the same for yourself. What is your excuse? Is it money? I study without a scholarship, without my parents or funding me or anything. I used to work at the beauty salon to support myself, except for the first year and second year when I was staying at my brother's place. But as soon as I left in 2014, I had been on my own up until now, 2023. So I don't understand what could be your excuse. Because if you said scholarship, I didn't have. If you said parents, I wasn't getting money from my parents. If you say family, I spent it that I used to do beauty, you know, to help myself out. If you tell me you have rents to pay, I also have always had rents to pay. So you have no excuse in terms of dropping off school, in terms of quitting, in terms of you know, letting go your dreams. There's no excuse. Really, if you can listen to me, you can hear this story of mine, you know. It's so painful, but I'm just so happy that I share this story without tearing, because the first time I thought about shooting this video, I was in pain for 3 days or almost a week. I was in so much pain. I was tearing because it was so painful to open up. But then as I practice off camera on how to speak without having tears in my eyes, how to not give you all the details, how to cut off important details, fast forward, so I don't get to have any emotion when I'm shooting this video. I think it has really been a successful, more importantly, so it can inspire you. I want to inspire you. Even if you are academically excluded, you are excluded from your college, university, from school, don't give up. Appeal. I told you, even the vice chancellor's office approve of your exclusion. Tell me, who's gonna defend you? Who's gonna help you if the vice chancellor on top approve you? You dead. It was done. It was over for me. It was dusted. But you have to see. You have to see what people are not seeing. When you see something that no one is seeing in your life, you're going to bring it to existence because you're going to believe in it. As you believe in it, you're going to put the work behind it. When you put the work behind it, you hope, you keep trying, you keep registering, you keep reading, you keep studying, you keep hoping, you keep practicing. My darling, you're going to graduate. Yes, so we're having my graduation in April this year. I'm graduating. Yes, we are a holder of a bachelor degree in medical lab science, cytogenetics. So I just want you, when you see that vlog about my graduation, if you're going to wish me congratulations, I want you to understand who you are wishing and where is that degree coming from. You see, I want you to have an idea about how I got it, you know, not just to inspire you, not just to motivate you, and also to give a compliment that is so well deserved, because you just go, wow, it is so well deserved. I love when people are truthful about their words and compliments, because they know where is that thing coming from, you understand? So if you are a school, university, or whatever drop off, I want to encourage you to go pick up where you left your study off, or where you go pick up your dream. If there's a dream, if there's a passion, if there's a career, anything you have abandoned, you have dropped off, you have left, this video is meant to encourage you to go pick up that thing where you left it off and finish it. If you're going to be part of MN family, know that here we don't leave any business unfinished. We always go back to pick it up, and then we make sure we finish it. Then we move to the next one. So this is the mission of this video. So if you're in high school, you don't have your metric, you are 25, 30, 40, it doesn't matter. Go back, pick your degree where you left it off, finish high school, get a GED, finish college, do something. I always see women or people online always say, I'm a high school dropoff, but I'm successful. I'm a college dropoff. Why are you bragging the fact that you are a drop-off? There's nothing to brag. Look, I had this lady who was training me in 2012. She told me she was successful, you know. She had a husband from Europe. She's Kosa. Her husband is from Europe, and then he's a European. and then he was making quite a good money in the country. But she told me I will have to go to school because I want to show to my daughter, this is what I have accomplished. I want you also to go to university, to college, or even finish high school. So if you don't see the necessity of having a college degree because you have money, you are successful on social media or off social media, it doesn't matter, but do it at least for your child or children. One day you're gonna yell at your child, why are you playing with school? You need to get that degree. They will the child can tell you, because kids of today, I mean, where is your degree? Did you even finish high school? Did you even finish college? Did you finish university? What will you answer? You're gonna have to have proof that you made enough sacrifice to complete your studies, to finish college, to finish high school, to finish university, whatever. If you're not gonna do it for yourself because you are successful, because you have money, you can at least do it for your child, for your cousins, for your niece, for your nephew, for people that need to be inspired by you. You can do it for people that need to be motivated by you. You can do it for people that need to be encouraged by you. So please go pick up that dream of yours. Go pick up that passion of yours. Go pick up your first love. Go pick up that studies of yours. Go pick up that work of yours. That thing of yours that you used to do, that you drop off. Go pick it up and finish it, because we are into business of finishing all the unfinished business. I hope this video motivates you. I hope this video encourages you. Even if you get academic exclusions, you get exclusion in high school, you get exclusion from work, you get exclusion from family, exclusion from relationship, exclusion from whatever, investors or whatever you're doing in life, you're being excluded, know that there is always a chance to appeal. You can appeal, you can go to consider plan B, you can consider plan C, you can consider plan D. The alphabet has so many letters, you can pick any other letter and work toward it, succeed and make your life successful. Yeah, I'm Nicole. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you feel motivated and encouraged, and I will see you on my next upload. Thank you for those who will subscribe, who will like this video, who will comment, who will share, for those who have already subscribed, for those who watch my videos, for those who like, comments and show their support. I really appreciate it. I love you so much. And if you see the graduation vlog that will come up soon, please like it. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate you. And those who watch this video from the app, giving it a watch time, I also appreciate you for your support. Thank you so much. I'm gonna see you on my next upload. Bye my loves. Bye for now. Oh my goodness. You see, I talked, I finished, I didn't cry. My eyes, I didn't cry. Aren't you proud of me? Bye.